having appeared in a few Irish theatre productions. At 18, the Dubliner moved to London to try and crack the West End, but returned to Ireland 9 months later with his tail between his legs. "I'm sure my parents were delighted when I headed off on my big adventure," says the 49-year-old. "So when I came back, my mother was disappointed and sent me to an audition at London's National Theatre a few months later. I wasn't sure about going, as I was dying with a flu, but she bottled me up a couple of homemade whiskey concoctions and packed me off. I got the job." An extremely close family, his parents were a great support during his early days on the London stage. "My folks never missed a theatre show I was in, apart from once when my father was too ill," he reveals. "They'd come over and stay in a hotel at King's Cross or the Regent Palace at Piccadilly Circus and always bring me out for a steak, even if I didn't want one." Aidan's career has skyrocketed since those days, having won roles in some of TV's biggest shows, including Game of Thrones, Peaky Blinders and The Wire, as well as playing a CIA agent in his first major Hollywood film, 2012's The Dark Knight Rises. Today he is talking about his latest drama, the new BBC Two biopic Dave Allen at Peace. "It was a part he came to with an almost entirely blank slate, to be honest. I didn't know Dave Allen that well as a kid," he says of the comedy legend famed for his acerbic bar stool routines. "Well, apart from seeing him on a chat show one night and having a grim fascination with that finger, or rather missing finger, and there being an air of danger around him, the late Dave Allen never shied away from controversy, taking down organized religion and the Roman Catholic Church in barbed diatribes that led to a ban from Irish TV. But Aidan, himself brought up in a religious household, had no qualms about recreating the routines of his upbringing. He says, "Our house was well decked out with holy pictures and crucifixes, but it all seemed normal. I didn't like catching Jesus's reflection in the mirror, though. I thought that was probably the devil, so the magic must have worked on me." These days, Aidan only finds himself in church for filming. "I prayed and went to mass and all, but there came a time in my mid-teens when I left all that behind. I still like the smell of churches, though. I find them peaceful." From Romany hitman Aberama Gold in the most recent series of Peaky Blinders to Peter Littlefinger Baelish in Game of Thrones, fans aren't used to seeing Aidan in comedy roles, but he pulls off Allen's sets skillfully and is a dead ringer for the comedian. "I've not done much comedy in my later life, but I have been making an effort to lighten up a bit," he confesses. "My first few roles were comedic and it was getting laughs in early shows that encouraged me to go down this road." As for Game of Thrones, he says it felt great not to make it to the show's final season, quipping, "Get out early and get some good gigs while the rest of them are tied up contractually." The series, which was filmed in Northern Ireland, gave him the opportunity to get to know a part of the country he hadn't spent much time in previously. "My time there prior to Game of Thrones was limited to late 1990, he recalls. "Things felt very different then. I liked it, particularly Derry, but it was kind of high-octane, as I was from Dublin. I didn't really know my way around. I was jumpy. I've really enjoyed getting to spend so much time there over the last 6 or 7 years. I've met some great people." The cult hit brought the actor a level of fame that could potentially be uncomfortable. Interviewers often remark on Aidan's shy demeanor, quiet, halting sentences and hatred of small talk, but the actor doesn't consider himself overly reserved. "I am kind of shy, but not so much that I wouldn't strip off occasionally in front of a crowd of strangers and TV cameras, I suppose," he says. The actor shyness thing is a strange mix. A lot of shy, retiring actors are actually blazing exhibitionists on the side. The father of a 19-year-old daughter, Berry, and a son, Joe, 17, Aidan has certainly played his share of blazing exhibitionists, from his breakout character Stuart in Channel 4's Queer as Folk in 1999 to slimy politician Tommy Carcetti in HBO's The Wire. It's good to play those parts, because that's what you're doing, playing it being things that you're not, he says. You can get away with everything. Does that create an expectation among fans? Being recognized is something that comes with the gig, I suppose, particularly if you're in widely seen shows, he says. Hats and moustaches are good. I have those in my current role. New history, UFO drama, Blue Book 1. Don't know what people expect in real life, to be honest. I suppose they'll get you in whatever mood you're in. I try to be friendly.